Hey everyone. So I want to do a post on simultaneous time. I was looking for some inspiration and information because I think this is such a wonderful subject, and it's actually one of my most favorite what would the word be, ideas of the set material, that everything is now. And it feels so freeing when I allow myself to really be there and to not be trapped in linear time. But as you know, that takes some practice. And I was looking for some information online, and while it seemed a couple of times as though I found someone who knew what Seth knows and teaches through Jane's material, or actually, would you say the other way around? Well, you know what I mean. Jane Roberts is the one who wrote down Seth's material because he came through her. And no one seems to understand it that way. Like, they're just blind. Een slag in de ronde, you would say in Dutch. And nothing really hits home for me. So I thought, you know what? There might be more people that are looking for this, and I will make it. So first I want to start off with this caveat. This is really important. You can't, Neville would say, you can't serve two masters. And you can't have an idea of simultaneous time and an idea or belief in linear time. You really have to make up your mind and choose. Either you go all in with simultaneous time, which I propose you do, and I'm here to help you and myself with this, or you say, okay, I don't believe this stuff, I'm going to go for linear time, which actually means that you are a victim to what is happening to you. It means that you believe in cause and effect. Simultaneous time means there is no cause and effect in the way you think about it. Like, the cause is the thought. I will quote some more. I will read some quotes from the book The Nature of Personal Reality from Jane Roberts and Seth, of course. And things will become a bit more clear then, because he also speaks about because there are certain rules, right? You're like, yeah, but there has to be linear time because things follow, like this comes after that. Yes, that is just the rule of certain rules in camouflage. Time is a camouflage concept. So let me get into the quotes first, and then I will give you some practical tools, like how you can use it on a daily basis. That. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out, as you know, or comment, or sing me a song, write me an email. Okay, here goes. Natural grace and natural guilt are given you, and these will also grow more fully into conscious awareness. If you can sit quietly and realize that your body parts are replacing themselves constantly, if you turn your conscious mind into the consideration of such activity, then you can realize your own state of grace. If you can sense your thoughts steadily replacing themselves, then you can also feel your own elegance. A side note for a moment. So Seth says that there's no growth, like nothing is actually growing, like there's no growth. He compares this to the color yellow. He says there's no more growth to life than there is, for example, to the color yellow. So you get that every time, everything you see is actually a completely new rendition of the thing. And that goes for your body too. Okay, I continue with the quote. You cannot feel guilty and enjoy such recognition, and that is the state of elegance of grace. However, not on a conscious level. If you find that you are berating yourself because of something you did yesterday or 10 years ago, you are not being virtuous. You are most likely involved with artificial guilt. Even if a violation occurred, natural guilt does not involve penance. It is meant as a precautionary measure, a reminder before an event. So guilt is something that is valid, but it's only before an event. It's meant to prevent you doing something. It's not meant to hang in there and to continue to chastise, is that a word? I think so, yourself over it. Do not do this again is the only afterward message. I am placing these concepts within your time scheme because in your terms they were born out of it. But the fact is that all time is simultaneous. And that's what you will see in the quotes that I will read. Like, he has to say it in a way that is understandable for us. Otherwise, you have no way of communicating, right? But the fact is, everything is simultaneous. In a simultaneous time, punishment makes no sense. The punishment as an event and the event for which you are being punished exist at once. And since there is no past, present, and future, you could just as well say that the punishment came first. Like, really think about that. You could just as well say that the punishment came first. So what I suggest you do is that you are really aware of events that happen. And I have already seen some really striking, crazy cool things that I'm like, oh my goodness, this what happened now is so linked to what happened then and then and then. And it makes total sense when there is no time but simultaneous time, that actually that event came before the event that I'm experiencing now or that I just experienced. This sounds a bit theoretical, but you will stay conscious, stay with this, take this idea, do something with it, and you will experience the magic of it. And you will experience it yourself. And if I have a good example, I will share it with you. But the thing is, these teachings have to become practical in your own life. Okay, let's continue with the next quote. Your beliefs, thoughts, and feelings are instantly materialized physically. Their earthly reality occurs simultaneously with their inception. But in the world of time, lapses between appear to occur. That is like, those are our rules on earth. So I say one causes the other, and I use those terms to help you understand, but all are at once. So there is no time lapse in between. It is just something that we work with on earth. Yeah, things are immediately there. Okay. Although time does not basically exist as you know it, you are neurologically forced to perceive your life as a series of passing moments. Let me repeat that. Although time does not basically exist as you know it, you are neurologically forced to perceive your life as a series of passing moments. So here comes the brain into play. So you might know that the teachings of Seth, in the teachings he says, mind is not part of camouflage. All is mind, remember, Kabbalah and Hermetic principles, and like, so mind is the what is in the spacious present. Mind is everything. Mind is the oversoul. Mind is all that is. But the brain is part of camouflage reality, and in the brain are neurological pathways. So although time does not basically exist as you know it, you are neurologically forced to perceive your life as a series of passing moments. That's just how the rule is. So just accept that. Okay, next one. In quite real, personal, and racial terms, the past is still happening. You create it from your present according to your beliefs. A removed appendix, and that's not in a book, but the thing in your body, will not reappear physically. There are certain frameworks that are accepted, built into your creaturehood. There is far greater freedom, however, even on the cellular level. So while physical objects may reappear, that is really definitely possible. And Linda Medendal has a couple of examples in her book. I've experienced some really crazy things with things. I started working again, or actually, you also experience it on a daily basis. When you're looking for a pen and you can't find it, and 5 minutes later it's there where you looked before, or maybe it's another item. It's not like it just appeared there now. Before, you were just in a state of mind that you couldn't perceive it. You were literally in another version of reality where the pen wasn't there. And on a side note, use these things like when this happens, because you lose things all the time, or not lose, but you think you lose things all the time. And then when you find them, realize that what just happened is you just moved to a version of reality where that thing was the whole time. So really, in this way, you can remind yourself constantly of the simultaneity of time. Okay, let's go on. Whenever you have your own undivided attention, you act as a hypnotist and subject simultaneously. You give yourself post-hypnotic suggestions all the time, particularly when you project present conditions into the future. I want to impress upon you the fact that all of this simply follows the natural function of the mind, and to dispel any ideas that you have about the magical aspects of hypnosis. Actually, now I go a bit more into how you can change beliefs, but I'm quite sure that most of you will like this information. For 5 or 10 minutes a day at the most, then use natural hypnosis as a method of accepting desired new beliefs. During that period, concentrate your attention as vividly as possible upon one simple statement. Repeat it over and over while focusing upon it for this time. Try to feel the statement in whatever way is possible. That is, do not allow distractions, but if your mind insists upon running about them, then channel its images in line with your declaration. The repetition, verbally or mentally, is important because it activates biological patterns and reflects them. Do not strain. This exercise should not be done along with the point of power exercise given earlier. One should not run into the other, but should be carried out on separate occasions during the day. During the period, however, do remember that you are using the present as a moment of power to insert new beliefs, and that these will indeed be materialized. When the exercise is finished, do not dwell upon it. Put it from your mind. You will have utilized natural hypnosis in a concentrated form. You may have to experiment some of the proper wording of your message, but 3 days at the very least are necessary before you can tell through results how effective it has been. A change of wording may be in order. When you feel right about the statement, then continue it. Your attention should be completely relaxed otherwise, for time is needed. You may experience spectacular results at once, but continue the exercise even if this happens. Inner channels must become repatterned, and I believe that he's talking about neurological pathways again. There will be a feel to this that will serve as your own individual guideline. There is no need to continue the practice over 10 minutes. In fact, many will find that difficult to do so. Spending a longer period of time simply reinforces the idea of problems involved. So, now let's get into some practical application of this whole simultaneous time stuff. So, you know that everything is now right and that there's no growth to anything, and that you can equate it or compare it to a color yellow. Like the color yellow doesn't have any growth to it. And that's also to our physical reality. And that's a mind-blowing, mind-twisting, brain-paining kind of idea. So just accept it. Just accept it. We don't need to understand everything, just sometimes it's just nice to believe in the magic of things. So just say to yourself, I'll suspend judgment. I'm gonna go with the truth of this, and use your energy for other things. And the other thing being changing your beliefs around this, for example. I think that this is one of the most important concepts of the Seth material, the simultaneity of time. It's also the one that has people look really weird at you when you state something like this. So, just keep it for yourself and know that we all play within the rules of the game of life, and that you just know some more things. And you don't have to convince anyone. First, convince yourself of the truth of this. So how can you work with this, and how can you make this really something that is ingrained on a cellular level? So every single day, not even every moment that you are aware, and of course you try to be aware as much as possible. Whenever, as I said before, whenever you find something that is lost, remind yourself, hey, wait, it wasn't lost. I just moved to a version of reality where it always was. Because it's a simultaneous time experience, remember? Also, this hair, nails, they don't grow. Your body doesn't lose weight or gain weight. What is happening is you move to a version of yourself with shorter or longer hair. You move to a version of yourself with shorter or stronger nails. You move to a version of yourself that is bigger in size or smaller in size. And how do you do this? Well, you do this by believing, by giving belief to certain foods, cause this and that, certain hair products cause so and so. It has everything to do with what you think of, what you feel, and what you believe. That is how everything in reality is created. So let me see what else. A bank account, the money in a bank account doesn't grow. Your belief about a growing number on your bank account makes it so. A belief in not having enough in your bank account makes it so. So that's why know thyself, know how you think about anything, because it's the beliefs that create. And when you really feel like, I don't think 100% is possible, but you can definitely get to 80%, 90%, maybe even more. Like if you have that trust, if you have that knowing, then you can also find your beliefs easier. Because if you're still stuck in linear time, then you might brush things off by saying, yeah, but this is because, I don't know, my job, or it is bonus time at work, or it is Christmas, so I always get a Christmas bonus. No, there's only simultaneous time, and there are certain rules that we work with on planet Earth, and we have psychological agreements with each other. Like in December, it's Christmas. In April, depends on the hemisphere where you are, it's springtime. All of these things are rules, but step outside of them. If you really want to be in charge of your reality, then stick with simultaneous time. Okay, guys, enough talking. I will get back soon. For now, have a wonderful evening, and I trust that this information is really valuable and helpful for you. And I really look forward also to hearing from you. Like, how are you going with this? Is this helpful? Would you like to have more? Are there any requests? I mean, I'm here. So, much love. Talk soon. Ciao.